There's something deeply magnetic about a person who carries calm energy. They don't need to speak loudly or demand attention. Their presence alone speaks volumes. In a world filled with noise, where everyone is trying to outshine the next person, calm energy becomes rare, and rarity is what makes it attractive. When you're calm, composed, and centered, you create a silent aura that draws people toward you without even trying. This isn't about arrogance or pretending to be better than others. It's about being at peace with yourself, and that peace naturally radiates outward. Calm energy is the result of emotional maturity. It means you've reached a point in life where you no longer need to react to every situation. You don't get easily triggered, you don't over-explain yourself, and you don't seek validation. You understand that silence often communicates strength. People sense it. They can feel that you don't operate from chaos or insecurity. They're curious about you because calmness in today's world is unusual. Everyone is rushing, competing, and over-talking, but the person who walks in quietly and stays grounded commands attention without saying a word. When you carry calm energy, you automatically project self-confidence. Think about it, loudness is often a mask for insecurity. People who are unsure of themselves often feel the need to constantly prove something, to talk over others, or to dominate every conversation. But the calm person doesn't need to prove anything. They already know their worth. Their silence becomes their strength. They don't fight for space. They create it by simply existing in control of their emotions. This calmness also brings clarity. When your mind is quiet, you can observe more, listen better, and respond wisely. You stop wasting energy on meaningless arguments or drama. You start noticing details, people's tone, body language, hidden intentions, and that awareness makes you more socially intelligent. Calmness gives you power because you're no longer driven by impulse. You move with purpose. You're not reactive, you're intentional. That's what makes people see you as strong and mysterious at the same time. Calm energy isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering them. It's knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to act and when to let things unfold. You don't have to be emotionless, you just don't let your emotions control you. This balance is incredibly attractive because it represents discipline, depth, and emotional control. People are drawn to those who seem unshaken, who can remain steady even when everything around them is chaotic. To cultivate calm energy, you must learn to slow down. Observe your thoughts, breathe deeply, and resist the urge to react to every external event. Practice detachment, not in a cold way, but in a wise way. Detachment means understanding that not everything deserves your attention or energy. It's choosing peace over chaos, silence over noise, and patience over urgency. Over time, this becomes your natural state. People start to notice your calmness even before you speak. When you walk into a room with calm confidence, people feel it instantly. They may not know why, but something about your presence commands respect. You don't have to be the loudest or the most charismatic person there. You just have to be grounded. Calmness is a quiet form of power that can't be faked. It's not learned overnight, but when you embody it, you become someone people remember. The kind of person others feel drawn to, yet can't fully understand why. That's the silent magnetism of calm energy. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, the person who truly listens becomes rare, and that rarity is power. Most people are so focused on speaking, proving, or being right that they forget how powerful silence can be. But when you listen with presence and intention, you create a deep, invisible bond that no amount of talking can match. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel understood. It's not about agreeing with everything they say. It's about giving them space to express themselves freely without interruption or judgment. Listening is an art that requires patience, empathy, and awareness. When someone speaks and you give them your full attention, not just waiting for your turn to respond, but genuinely absorbing their words, it changes the dynamic of any interaction. Your calm attention tells them, "I see you. I value what you're saying." That simple energy makes people trust you, respect you, and feel comfortable in your presence. You become someone they want to be around because you make them feel important without saying much at all. True listening goes beyond hearing words. It's about reading between the lines, paying attention to tone, emotion, and body language. Sometimes what people don't say speaks louder than what they do. The silently attractive person picks up on these signals. They listen with their heart, not just their ears. That awareness gives them emotional intelligence, the ability to connect deeply while staying composed. You don't need to give advice all the time. Sometimes your quiet understanding is more healing than any words could be. When you master listening, you develop patience and control. You stop rushing to fill silences or dominate conversations. You learn to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. And that calm rhythm makes others feel secure around you. They see you as stable, someone who won't overreact, someone who can be trusted. In a noisy, reactive world, this kind of composure makes you quietly magnetic. You're no longer part of the crowd that competes to be noticed. Your stillness and presence make others notice you naturally. Listening also gives you knowledge and insight. When you're not talking constantly, you learn more. You begin to understand people's motivations, weaknesses, and true intentions. You gain perspective others miss because they're too busy talking. The person who listens learns, and the person who learns grows wiser. That wisdom, when expressed subtly, adds depth to your personality. People start to respect your opinion because they know you don't speak without understanding. Your words become valuable precisely because you don't use them carelessly. Another beauty of being a good listener is that it keeps your ego in check. It reminds you that communication isn't a performance, it's an exchange. You realize that every person you meet knows something you don't. Every story has a lesson if you're willing to listen. And when you carry that humble awareness, you radiate calm confidence. You don't need to prove your intelligence. Your ability to listen already shows maturity and strength. Listening makes you socially powerful, but in a quiet way. You stand out not by being loud or dominant, but by being fully present. People begin to notice your calm eyes, your thoughtful pauses, and your composed reactions. You make others feel seen, and that's what makes you unforgettable. The truth is, when you learn to listen more, you start to speak less. But when you do speak, people truly listen. One of the most powerful traits of a silently attractive person is the ability to speak with purpose. They don't talk to fill the silence. They talk to add value. Every word they speak feels intentional, thoughtful, and real. In a world where people talk endlessly without saying much, the person who chooses their words carefully stands out immediately. It's not about being quiet all the time. It's about knowing when to speak and what's worth saying. That balance between silence and speech creates an aura of control, confidence, and mystery. When you speak with purpose, people pay attention. They sense that your words carry meaning. You don't waste time on gossip, drama, or small talk that goes nowhere. You focus on truth, insight, and authenticity. The key is not in how much you say, it's in how much your words mean. People who talk constantly tend to dilute their message, but when you speak selectively, your voice gains weight. Others start to value your opinions more because they know you don't speak just to be heard. You speak because you have something worth hearing. Purposeful speaking also shows emotional control. When you think before you speak, you show that you're not impulsive. You're not driven by ego or the need to respond instantly. You've learned that silence can sometimes deliver a stronger message than words ever could. This kind of restraint gives you quiet power. It's what separates calm confidence from insecurity. The person who can stay composed in moments where others lose control becomes the most respected in any room. Your tone matters just as much as your words. Speak calmly, clearly, and with intention. Avoid raising your voice unnecessarily or using aggressive language. A composed tone reflects inner strength. It tells people you're not trying to prove anything. Even when you disagree, do it with respect and control. You'll notice that people start listening to you differently. They'll mirror your calm energy because confidence is contagious, and when expressed through thoughtful speech, it becomes magnetic. Another important part of speaking with purpose is learning the art of pause. Don't rush to respond, let silence breathe between sentences. That pause creates curiosity and impact. It allows your listener to absorb your words fully. It shows that you're not desperate to speak, you're deliberate. The calm communicator knows that silence adds power to speech. When you pause, people lean in, waiting for what comes next. That's how quiet influence works. It's not forced, it's felt. When you live with self-awareness, your speech naturally becomes meaningful. You start cutting out unnecessary chatter because you value your energy and your time. You stop oversharing your plans, feelings, or struggles with everyone. Instead, you save your words for the right moments and the right people. This not only makes you appear confident and wise, but also protects your peace. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts. Your silence becomes your filter, and your words become your signature. Being silently attractive doesn't mean being distant or cold. It means understanding that communication is sacred. You don't need to dominate a conversation to leave a mark. Sometimes the most impactful presence is the one that speaks less but speaks truth. People will remember your words not because they were loud, but because they were real. They'll remember how you made them feel when you spoke. Calm, grounded, and seen. And in that simplicity lies your quiet power, your unspoken charm, and your true social magnetism. Before you ever say a word, your body has already spoken. Your posture, your eyes, your gestures, they all communicate messages that people pick up instantly, whether consciously or subconsciously. A silently attractive person understands this truth. You don't need to talk much when your presence already speaks for you. The way you carry yourself can either invite respect or repel attention. When your body language radiates calmness, confidence, and control, you become magnetic without even trying. Start with posture. Stand tall but relaxed. Straighten your back, lift your chin slightly, and let your shoulders rest naturally. A confident posture doesn't need exaggeration. It's about balance. It signals self-assurance and emotional stability. When you walk into a room with quiet poise, people notice even if you say nothing. Slouching or fidgeting sends the opposite message. It shows uncertainty or nervousness. But standing steady, moving deliberately, and maintaining awareness of your space communicates that you are in control, not just of your body, but of your mind. Eye contact is another silent form of power. You don't have to stare or intimidate. Just maintain gentle, steady eye contact that shows you're present. When you look people in the eyes while they speak, you make them feel heard and respected. And when you speak, a calm, steady gaze shows sincerity and confidence. Too much eye contact can feel confrontational, but too little shows insecurity. The balance between the two, a natural, focused look, creates quiet connection. It tells others, I see you, I'm here, and I'm confident in my space. Then there's your facial expression. A calm face speaks louder than 1,000 words. Avoid over-expressing emotions or reacting to every situation with visible frustration or excitement. Neutral calmness paired with a subtle smile gives you a composed, mysterious aura. People start to wonder what you're thinking, and that curiosity draws them in. The quietly confident person doesn't wear all their feelings on their face. They know that mystery is magnetic. When people can't fully read you, they become intrigued by you. Your movements also reflect your inner world. Move with intention, not rush. Every step, every gesture, every small action should reflect self-control. Fidgeting, nervous tapping, or restless shifting sends signals of anxiety or insecurity. But when your movements are smooth, deliberate, and measured, they reveal inner peace. A person who moves calmly gives off a sense of control, as if nothing can disturb their center. And in a world full of restless energy, that calm rhythm becomes deeply attractive. Another important aspect of body language is the energy of space. Confident people understand personal boundaries. They don't invade others' space, nor do they shrink into the background. They maintain balanced proximity, close enough to engage, distant enough to maintain respect. The ability to hold your space gracefully shows emotional intelligence. It communicates, I belong here, and I don't need to prove it. That quiet assurance is what makes people gravitate toward you socially. Your hands, too, can express power or nervousness. Use them sparingly and meaningfully. Avoid excessive gesturing. Instead, let your hands move naturally in sync with your words. Rest them calmly when you're not speaking. Open palms convey honesty, while crossed arms or pockets often signal withdrawal. Mastering these small cues enhances your silent charisma. The secret is consistency. Your body language should match your inner calm. It's not about pretending to be confident. It's about genuinely feeling grounded and letting that truth show. When your energy, posture, and gestures align, you radiate authenticity. People sense your presence before they even hear your voice. They'll say things like, "There's something about you," without being able to explain what it is. That's the language of quiet power. The message your body speaks effortlessly while your mouth stays silent. There's something deeply captivating about a person who doesn't reveal everything about themselves. In a world where people overshare every detail of their lives, what they think, how they feel, where they are, being mysterious becomes a form of quiet power. The silently attractive person understands that less is more. You don't need to constantly explain yourself, post your every move, or seek approval from others. When you protect your privacy and move in silence, people start to wonder about you. They become curious, and curiosity is the foundation of attraction. Mystery doesn't mean being distant or cold. It means being selective about what you share and with whom. It's knowing that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. You keep certain parts of your life private not because you're hiding something, but because you value peace over attention. The more you preserve your mystery, the more people are drawn to discover who you really are. They sense depth in you, and that depth becomes magnetic. People are always fascinated by what they can't easily understand or predict, and that's what makes a mysterious person so powerful in social settings. Self-respect and mystery go hand in hand. When you respect yourself, you naturally stop seeking external validation. You don't chase people's approval or explain your choices just to be liked. You understand your worth, and you act accordingly. You speak less about your plans, you don't announce every goal, and you don't justify your silence. Your calmness and composure become proof of your inner strength. People start noticing your discipline and control, not because you're trying to impress them, but because your energy reflects confidence. Having self-respect also means setting boundaries, knowing when to walk away from noise, negativity, or disrespect. You don't argue to prove your value, and you don't stay where you're not appreciated. The silently attractive person doesn't beg to be understood. They let silence speak for them. That restraint, that quiet dignity, sends a louder message than words ever could. It tells others that your energy is sacred, and not everyone deserves access to it. And in a world where everyone is trying so hard to be noticed, that quiet self-assurance makes you unforgettable. Mystery also gives you control over perception. When you reveal less, people can't easily label you. They see bits of your personality, calmness, confidence, subtle charm, but they never get the full picture. That's what keeps them intrigued. You become the person who doesn't have to try hard to stand out. Your silence and self-respect make you different by default. People admire those who seem content within themselves, those who radiate peace instead of seeking attention. You don't need to chase the spotlight because your calm energy naturally brings it to you. When you live with mystery and self-respect, your presence begins to carry weight. You become someone others look up to, not because of what you say, but because of what you don't say. Your silence becomes a statement. Your restraint becomes your confidence, and your mystery becomes your magnet. People will talk, wonder, and try to understand you, but they'll never fully figure you out, and that's exactly what makes you silently powerful. So move with grace, speak less, protect your peace. Let your actions speak, your silence resonate, and your mystery shine. Because the truth is, when you have self-respect and an air of mystery, you don't chase attention. You attract it effortlessly. In the end, being silently attractive isn't about trying to impress anyone. It's about mastering yourself. When you carry calm energy, listen deeply, speak with intention, express confidence through body language, and protect your mystery with self-respect, you create a powerful aura that words can't describe. People will be drawn to your peace, your confidence, and your quiet strength. Remember, silence is not emptiness, it's elegance, control, and power. You don't have to shout to be noticed. Sometimes, your silence will speak the loudest. Be calm, be wise, and let your energy do the talking.